Hey folks, Brannon Beliso. Are you living your best life? Welcome to another episode of Success Never Sleeps, sponsored by My Studio, Kids Love Life Skills, and LC Accounting. Hey folks, Brannon Beliso here. How you doing? You living your best life? Well, it's Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the West Coast, and this is Success Never Sleeps. Never, ever. Let's begin by thanking our sponsors and encouraging you as you come aboard. Share this with people. Share, and share some more. So let's see. People start coming in. We want to thank our sponsors right off the bat. How about a big thank you to My Studio? My Studio, the finest CRM system out there, cultivating, innovating, disrupting. Right? I dig them. Kids Love Life Skills, character development. If you're not running character development in your school, in your business, and you cater to children, you are definitely missing the boat. If you've learned anything in this past year, kids need to be resilient and they need the skill set to do so. And something adding that character development system, our life skills program, Kids of Life Skills, rocks. LC Accounting, a better life through financial strength. You know how it is. I mean, we're stressed out when we're not making money. We're stressed out when we don't have the kind of money to provide for our families and our teams. So having financial strength gives a lot of peace and serenity. All right. So you come aboard, say hello, put your name in the chat, share this right away because we're going to be giving away what today? If you share this with as many people as you can, you're entered into a digital drawing for a 30-minute phone call with me, Brannon. I love the discovery calls that I get to do with people. It really helps them think, right? Make you go, and think about the different possibilities. There is no box, right? There is no box. I think the big challenge we're facing right now in today's world is all bets are off. Please know that. This is a brave new world. Things are changing at a breakneck speed. Things are changing dramatically in big ways. And if you don't pivot, you don't adapt, you don't adjust, much like dinosaurs, you will go extinct. I was talking to a school owner this morning. And he said to me, wow, you've lost 75% of your business. You're at 395 students. I said, no, that's one location. We're at 395. I said, we're running over 765 students. And he goes, how is that possible? Because you guys are still shut down and you've only been open for 3 weeks in the past year. I said, no, we never closed, sir. He says, what do you mean? You can't teach indoor classes. You can't do birthday parties or any of those things. He says, how is that? I said, well, it's simple. We reinvented our business. We adapted. We embraced change. And that's really the key in our mindset as a business. We embrace that change. We pivoted hard. We're running close to 600 people virtually and closing in on 200 in outdoor classes. And we've just started to, as of next week, we'll offer indoor classes again in Millbrae, very limited. Nonetheless, we'll be able to offer them once again. And for that, we're extremely grateful. So understand that the ability to pivot and adapt begins in your mindset. So that's why change for me is huge. It's huge. And I'm going to invite everybody to come to my event in November. It's Time Live Change. That's our theme. We've done this event for the past 5-6 years. Even last year we did it with the discipline. We went virtual and I think we had, I don't know, 60 people. We had a really good number for It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event. But this one, I'm excited to say it is in November 13th through 16th. It will be live. And right now we're booking the 4-day event. And so everybody, please get signed up for that. We just found out the hotel rates are like $79 right now. So make that commitment. Get your ticket. There's only 20 spots for the 4-day event. Get your ticket, please, and get the hotels. Hotels normally like $199 a day. So right now that hotel is booking at $79. And in our case, if for some reason it doesn't happen and things change, full refund. That's it. Done day. Full refund. But I want the 20 people to get booked and get into place so we can begin cultivating the content to fit your needs. We can build those relationships. There's all kinds of neat benefits like a 15-minute discovery call with me so I know your needs coming in. We're going to produce a Facebook group page a month before the event so that you can begin getting to know each other and cultivate that content. We've never done that before. You'll have access to my e-learning library, which is probably at this point, I don't know, 7 or 8 It's Time live events, right? With what, 12 hours of content in each one. My 9 webinars last year that we did. So you have access to all those amazing things, but you got to get signed up. And I know 3 spots out of the 20 are paid for and booked. So I encourage you. I encourage you. Cool, cool, cool. James Walker, what's happening, sir? Waiting on my Kids Love Life Skills to get here. Yeah, and James, once it gets there, please reach out to Marco Mazzola or anybody on our team at Kids Love Life Skills, because we're big on partnership. The reason I haven't shot a lot of videos, but I'm going to start for Kids Love Life Skills, is because I like the hand holding. I like the conversations. I like the one-on-one. And that's powerful. And we're experiencing that in our group mentoring. The fact that we can sit together and talk and go through it is so much better than you just watching a video. So that's where we are. All right. So let's get into this big dog, this big dog, this big dog. Do we have any questions, sir? Let's put those in. What's the first question of the day? Who do we have here? Marco, Adam from the UK, our disruptor, right? Holding down the fort in the UK. How's it going, Adam? Are you guys open out there yet? Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. Jason Smith, Believe Martial Arts, Chipley, Florida. Letitia's here from LC Accounting. Awesome, awesome. Sensei Mish, James Walker. As you come aboard, do say hello. You say hello. All right, let's get our first question in there, sir. I wanted to get your opinion on ceiling height. What is the minimum ceiling height and what is optimal? By ceiling height, I mean the lowest something hangs, like your lights or ceiling. The actual roof will be higher for all AC, etc. Well, Wesley, I'm going to ask the first question. Do you do weapons? That's a big one, right? Do you do weapons because of bow staffs? If you're a kung fu system and you're using a spear, right, you want to have that clearance. So if you are doing bow staffs, if you are doing a weapon, what I would do is take the tallest person that you have, take that weapon and hold it like this straight up. Well, we don't hold a spear like that. I want some clearance, sir. So what I'm talking about is take that bow staff, hold it in your hand, and go like this. Don't ask me to do it. I'm 5'3". I would take the tallest person in your school and hold it up like this, right? If you do weapons, and why I never hold a bow staff like that, you're missing the boat. I want clearance, right? I'd hold the staff like this or the spear, and whatever that height is, I'd make sure no light is going to touch that. So I'm never going to deal with breaking a light. Cool? Make sense? Right? And if you don't, then I don't really believe it's an issue, sir. You know, I think the minimum height of a light hanging down should be 12 feet at the minimum. But again, then we talk about a whole nother thing. Wesley, what does your city code say? Right? City codes, because you have a certain amount of sprinklers and lights. What is the optimal height for a fire sprinkler? What is the height? Because you don't want to install these lights and stuff, sir, or this drop ceiling, and then they come in for inspection and go, that's not legal. Right? So even though I'm saying hold the damn staff like this above your head, sir, I would go to the, city licensing or whoever does permits and stuff and get the codes for that. All of that should be code. Cool? Cool, cool, cool. All right. Who else is here? I see more people coming aboard. Say hello. Don't sit there in the wings. Be part of the culture. Be part of the community and get into this with us. Cool. Next question, sir. And if you have questions and you're here live, I love live questions as well. Just put them down in the right-hand corner, please. Next one, sir. Do you have a specific thing you do before a big meeting or call? No. No, I don't. Absolutely not. I've been to groups. I went to one where before the meeting, they do this meditation thing and a Qigong thing to everyone get a collective positive mindset. I don't think it's good or bad. But we do a lot of meetings and they happen pretty quickly, and if I started every meeting like that, that might be a challenge because we do quick power meetings. We did one yesterday that ended up being an hour and a half. We want to get into it, right? I'll do it on the fly when I'm working with an instructor on the floor, out in the park. And if before we met, we had to look each other and grip each other's face going, we are one. Martial arts, that would be a little weird, right? So I'm big on short meetings, but I'm not against that either, sir. I've sat in big meetings where they do, a corporate chant before they start. It just depends upon your culture. And if it promotes your why and your values, I say you should do it. But in our case, no, it's not something that we do. Hey, Bao, what's happening, Bao? Welcome, sir. I'm glad you made this one. Don't forget our Group mentoring after this, 12:30, the It's Time Live group mentoring. We're doing those live, which I'm really digging to sit with a bunch of you in a Zoom call and cultivate that. And this month, what are we working on? We're moving into define your values and vision, right? Define your values and vision. There you go. Pop that in there, K1. Yeah, there we go. Define your values and vision. That's 12:30 on Zoom for everybody that's part of our It's Time Live group mentoring. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Let's get into the next question, please. Brian. Hey, Brian. How should I begin creating a budget to plan ahead for expenses? And how much should I pay for each, like insurance, maintenance, staffing, etc.? Also, what hidden expenses have you experienced come up you didn't plan for? That's really good. So, these questions you're asking me, the first thing I'm going to do is direct you to LC Accounting, and then I'm going to give you my take on it. Okay, Brian? You know, she'll answer a lot of your questions and then you can decide, but you should get somebody in your court. I think from day one, I had an accountant service. I have a bookkeeper, I have an accountant, I have a lawyer, all these things you want to outsource. But at this point, you probably can't afford that. So here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Number one, do a business plan. Do a business plan, right? And Letitia, if we got any great templates for budget they can use out of QuickBooks or something, just post it in the comments, please. So that would be the first thing. It sounds like you haven't done a business plan. I would do a business plan. And a lot of those things are fixed costs. You can't negotiate insurance. And I wouldn't negotiate insurance. Don't often think when it comes to insurance, and I would talk to Beth Block of Block Insurance, and Letitia, I'm sure you'll vouch for this. Cheaper insurance, it's not necessarily better. Case in point, my neighbor across the street got hit in a parking lot. Now she was fine and everything, but somebody caused $12,000 of damage to her car. But because she, was elderly, she went with just basic liability. She didn't have collision or anything, and so she had to eat $12,000. So she ended up totaling out the car and selling it or something. So be mindful of that. There you go. Letitia will put it in there. Thanks, Letitia. She'll put it in there, okay, you guys? Or she'll put it in the files at the Disruptor group. If you're not part of our Disruptor group, for everybody that's here, please join our Disruptors group. It's got a lot of good content. Somebody looked at my files. There's like hundreds of thousands of dollars of free files on instructors training, birthday parties. And I don't promote that because it's really, I want to teach people to mine data. So we don't promote, hey, this file's here, this file's here. But anybody that has the gumption to join the Disruptor group and look into those files, there's literally hundreds of thousands of dollars of content there, hidden on purpose, right? And that's by design because I'm trying to teach you to be a critical thinker, to be a thought leader. You pay for what you get as far as insurance goes, right? And Beth Block is very amazing when it comes to that. LC Accounting, she put her info in there. So the first thing I would do, is a business plan, a legit business plan. And if you download a template, there will be a thing on budget. And there are fixed costs, right? When you sign that leash, this is what my rent's going to be. This is what my insurance is going to be, right? This is what my payroll is going to be, or my livable wage. Because when honestly, I bet you're opening this business, you're the sole employee, right? What is my livable wage? And if I don't have a wife that's working a day job where I could piggyback on her health insurance, I want to get health insurance. Don't run without it, right? There's certain fixed costs that aren't variables. They're going to be fixed. Your electricity, right? Your water bill, your garbage bill, all that's what varies is your supplies. How many uniforms do I need to buy this month? Well, it depends how many trials I have, on and on. So there's certain things that are fixed costs. And when you're asking me what you should pay for insurance and that would lead me believe you may not have done a business plan yet, and you haven't went out and cost all this stuff. And you'll see insurance, as competitive as it is, it's pretty consistent. Rent is fixed. Electricity, all those things are fixed. Now, so what are those variables that can happen that could be unexpected? You getting hurt. And you can't teach. So even though it might, a lot of people think insurance is a waste of money, right? A lot of people believe insurance is a waste of money. But if you say hypothetically had a disability insurance in case you got sick or hurt or couldn't work, and you could afford that in your budget right now, what would that look like? Because if you think about it, most of us, when we opened our school, we were the only teacher. We didn't have any other students. They're all white belts. If you got sick or hurt or couldn't work a day in your life, and you had a brand new business, how soon before that business would be closed? A month, 2 months, three? So I think that's something. Eating out is a big expense. Yeah, it's a big expense. For us, it is, huh? Letitia's always giving me crap because we like to eat out. I don't so much, with the way I eat now, but my family likes to eat out. My wife likes to eat out. So, yeah, that's a big one. And we did that a lot because I come from an Italian Filipino background, and breaking bread is one of the best ways to do business. Like people that play golf, right? And they do business on the golf course. So, again, it's an expense, but the government's put their foot down on that. You can't write off meal expenses like you used to. You simply cannot. So you want to be mindful of that. So I think that's it. And what Letitia's trying to say is that once you create this budget, Brian, stick to it. Do not veer from it. And that's why we're a big advocate of profit first, Brian. I don't look at P&Ls every quarter. I just call up Letitia and ask her where we're at, right? But I'm in a different boat. What I love about profit first, the fundamental principle is you set up 5 accounts for your business. First one is income. Second one is taxes, because it's such a huge misconception. You look at your bank account and all that money's in there, and you're not figuring what needs to be fed into that a tax account on the 10th and the 25th. I want that tax money separate right away because that's not my money. How many of you have sat there when quarterly taxes come up for your estimate and you're scrambling for money? Well, that's because you didn't pay attention. So you want to make sure. Hey, Danny. Good morning, sir. Adam, I'm going to read that in a minute, so hold that. So you want to set up your income account, then you want to set up your tax account. After your tax account, we're going to call this owner's compensation, because you want to take a draw. If you don't have a livable wage to eat, pay your personal rent, things like that, that business is going to go under really fast, right? And then the next account is going to be your profit. I don't care if you're taking $1 a month. Profit, what it is to condition your mindset to create a profitable business. And if I'm taking $1 profit, I can say I have a profitable business. And last but not least, that last account, sir, it's your expense account. Wow. How did we normally do it? All the money goes in one account, we pay everything, and what's left over is ours. That's ass backwards, right? Stop it. Income, taxes, owner's comp, profit, expenses. Cool? And then definitely keep scrutinizing your numbers, because it's very easy to find an app you've been paying $10 for. You didn't even know it was there. It's such a small amount, and it goes. That's why something like a Planet Fitness, which hasn't been open, is surviving because it's $10 a month. Who's going to cancel their freaking Planet Fitness at $10 a month, right? So you want to be mindful of that. I would always go through your credit card bills, and Letitia does that for us. And if she finds something weird, she asks me, what is this? Right? One of my kids bought, a subscription to Roblox, and they don't even play the damn game anymore. Right? So things you want to watch for like that. And then I'd recommend, Brian, one credit card for your business. One credit card for personal. If you want to be able to export things to QuickBooks, a lot of the things like that, it makes a huge, huge difference to keep all your expenses. If you're using cash, buying stuff left and right, you got a bunch of receipts. Oh, I don't have receipts anymore, right? I will use that freaking credit card. And those are just the beginning. But again, reach out to LC Accounting and talk to Beth Block of Block Insurance. Adam Parker, hope you're well. We are closed. If all goes well, we open as follows. Outdoor small kids groups can begin March 9th. Indoor group kids 15 opens on the 11th of April. Right, so by 11th of April, you can do 15. May 17th, outdoor groups up to 30. Indoor limit to 15. And pad work and sparring. 1st of June, all restrictions due to end. Wow. But that is the fastest anything will open. Is that the entire UK, sir? Right? Is that the entire UK? Because I know it's different in different parts, right? And my buddy Liam is in Sheffield, I believe. And I haven't talked to him recently, so I'd love to know what the conditions are there. Cool, cool, cool. Keep those questions coming in. Put them in there. I'm really excited to share that we got our second PPP yesterday. We already got it for Millbury, but we got the one for San Francisco as well. And we're really, really grateful for that. And I posted that the other day, and I think somebody thought I was boasting that we have managed to cultivate about $300,000 in PPP, EIDL, I got a Facebook grant for $5,000, a Facebook ad spend for $1,500. Anything that comes through the pipeline, we look at. We make sure they're not scams, but we look at them. And if you use the money properly, it will be a forgivable loan. So I think that might have been a better word to use, forgivable, but call it what it is. When the day's done, it's free money. I was talking to K1 about that, and he said a buddy of his got his stimulus check last year, and whatever it was, $1,600. But instead of getting, normally he would get back from the state about $300, but he didn't get $300 back from the state. He got $30 back from the states. So he felt a little slighted, right? He felt a little bummed out. Wow, man, they taxed me higher because of the stimulus. And instead of getting $300 back from the state, which I normally get, I got $30 back from the state. And I said, whoa, 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 jump back. You didn't get $30 back. You got $1,300 in a stimulus check. You see where I'm going with that? So in our case here, we've gotten about $300,000 worth of forgivable loans and different things. And the new one is great. If you're not aware of it, the employee retention credit, what it fundamentally means, and now they're doing retro for 2020, is whatever Social Security tax you paid in for your employees for 2020 minus the months you use the PPP for payroll, you're going to get that in a refund check. Okay. And they do it by the quarter, not by the month. So let's say the first quarter, I got the PPP in February. It's done. I can't apply for that quarter, right? And the money was in the bank. And then for this year, moving forward, we don't know how long it's going to last. They're going to apply it as credit to our payroll. So whatever Social Security I'm paying in to my employees, I'm going to get credited for 2021. I think that's pretty cool. So again, there is money out there, and it's a good thing. And this guy piped in and fundamentally said, well, instead of taking money, I've invented more revenue streams, and my values don't allow me to take that money. And then some guy shot in from Australia who got 81K in Australia. He says, dude, the government doesn't want us to fail, because if we fail, then there's no revenue being generated. So it's to their advantage to give us this money now, because how much will be taxed, right? Taxed over the years, right? Over the years. So they want your business to be there. So what? They gave us $300,000 now. You know how much they're going to make in taxes in me over the next 20 years? You see where we're going with that? So don't think in any shape or form that it's a bad thing to utilize a stimulus check, to utilize the PPP, the EIDL, the ERC, all of it. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's a really good thing. And you think values-wise, that doesn't make sense? If you have a credit card or you have a loan from a bank or anything, it has nothing to do with values. It is called smart business. Say it again, smart business. So the fact that we're able to do this, right, is a good thing, right? And like Letitia's sharing, you have to contact your payroll provider to get the amended 941s. But I do recommend apply for the ERC, right? Apply for the ERC, Employment Retention Credit. And if you want to know a little more about that, reach out to Letitia at LC Accounting. Cool? Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that because, I felt that. I don't know if they were bummed out because we got the money and they didn't even think to apply for it. I don't know. I don't know what that is. If they've just been living under a rock. And I'm going to say that because we share a parking lot with a franchised cycling place, right? And when we were allowed to open here in San Mateo for 10% of indoor, I said to them, I was really excited. Hey, are you guys going to open up indoors with 10%? They go, no, we're closing. And I said, why? And they said, because the landlord isn't working with us, so they're going to kick us out. I said, did you get a lawyer to try to talk to them? Well, no, blah, blah. I said, why? Right? And then I said, did you get the PPP? And they said, no, what is that? And this is right a month ago. I'm going, you don't know what the PPP is? They said, no. And I went, wow. And you're part of a franchise. You think the franchise would tell them about the PPP, tell them about the EIDL, tell them about the ERC, tell them about everything. Because why would that franchise want another franchise to close, a franchisee to close? It doesn't help them, right? So to show you the lack of education, where does that begin? That begins with what is your vision? What is it that you want out of this, right? And what I want out of this is secure my business so my team has not only a job, but has a career, secure my family. So we're willing to do what that takes. We are. And I did an interview yesterday or the day before, and they said to me, well, how is that? Nobody wants to learn virtually. I said, well, we have 600 people learning virtually. What are you talking about? Well, virtual doesn't translate. It doesn't connect. And I said something very profound. Remember in Cozumel when we ran into 7-Eleven, and remember you guys were really drunk and you got a bag of flaming hot Cheetos. And one of the hosts looked at me and said, dude, that's cool. And he smiled. I connected and I engaged him right there. I said, that is retention 101. How is it in the business, this pandemic? I haven't seen you guys in 2-3 years since we're in Cozumel on this island. How is it that I know you ate flaming hot Cheetos at freaking 1 a.m. when you guys came back drunk from the bar and I was getting hot water for my tea? How is it that I know that? And how are we connecting and engaging virtually right now from it? Retention 101. And it's really that mindset of being present that helps you recall, memory recalls like that, tidbits of information like that to engage and connect. Cool? Yeah, virtually translates well in my training. Just, I was talking to a school owner this morning. He goes, but they can't spar. How do you do bunkai? How do you do practical application? I said, we tabled that. We tabled that shit a year ago. It doesn't exist. We can't spar virtually. I saw someone do a virtual tournament online. Sparring. That's got to be the lamest thing in the world. That's lame. That's lame. Now, again, we went back and forth about engaging, connecting. And please don't mistake me when I say this. Can you say porn? The porn industry got that thing 15, 20 years ago. They saw the internet as this way to connect and engage. And it's a billion, trillion dollar industry, I think, right? Now, what does that have to do with the martial arts industry? No, what it has to do with the principle that we can engage and connect, right? So as derogatory as that sounds, I just want you guys to understand that we can engage and connect. I do private lessons with people every week. We can engage and connect. We do group classes with 600 students. You can engage and connect. We have people that never want to come back and only want to do virtual. We have people training all over the country with us now because we can engage and connect. I know people that train live in another state that are having more fun training with us virtually than they are live. So it goes on and on. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but that is so important in cultivating a new, different business. And that's why we are where we are today. And we are still standing. And I'm very blessed and grateful. And I thank God for that every day that we are where we are. Because we're committed to our why, live your best life. Makes no difference. So I'll teach you in a parking lot. I'll teach you on a rooftop. I'll teach you virtually. We'll do whatever it takes because we're committed to a why, not a what or how. What or how is just the byproduct of living from what? Your why. Hey, Alvin. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Alvin. Welcome. Welcome, Alvin. Welcome. All right, K1. What's our next question, sir? Gage. What a cool name. Gage. I have heard some say. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I haven't read anything. Okay, I'm going to stop. I haven't read the rest of it, but I'm going to read the question. Anytime you start with, I have heard some say, who in the hell are they? Who is I have heard some say? Who is that? Right? People say, well, no, you don't. So stop writing like that. Okay, stop it. Okay, put his question back up. Okay, so let's take that first part out. It's best to put a springboard under your mats. What are the pros and cons of this in your opinion? I know I've seen a bunch of YouTube videos on that, Gage, and there's some really economical ways to do that, right? Creating this cardboard subfloor, different things. I would say it depends upon your art. If you're doing Aikido, where there's a lot of rolls like that and you need a springboard loaded floor, I would highly recommend it and I would encourage it. Okay. But honestly, if you're just starting out and you need to be budget conscious, I've said to people, freaking put carpet on your floor if that's all you can afford. Put the puzzle mats if that's the next level you can afford. Go with a good tatami mat, right? If that's what you can afford. Do you need a spring-loaded floor? Gymnastics do. Here in Millbrae, we have a parking lot underneath us, and this is a concrete floor, and there's cables through this freaking thing. So when they're bouncing up and down out there in kickboxing, the doors move here, everything moves. Is it a good thing? Yeah. But I knew that this is a spring-loaded floor. I'm not bouncing up and down on this concrete, but you put an inch thick tatami mat on this floor, it's a good day. So again, what are the questions I would answer, Gage? Number one, the art that you teach. Because again, the Disney experience, I don't want to do Aikido on freaking concrete with all the rows they do, right? Number two, does it fit your budget? If you're a brand new school owner, right? I always tell people go small and lean when you're starting out. If you're a brand new school owner, I wouldn't do any more than 1,800 square feet, maybe even 1,200, all mat, very little waiting area, short-term lease, 3 years, because I'm moving once that school grows, right? Short-term lease, I would go in there lean and mean. And then once you cultivate it and it grows, move to a bigger location. So that's the second variable. Is it necessary? Cool? Cool. And those are the things I would think about. Adam, add springboard loaded floor if you do freestyle and tricking. Yeah. But you know what's a great substitute for that, Adam? That a lot of people will do? They'll get the tumbler, right? That tumbler, it's like a bouncy house, but it's a long tumbler thing, right? Hyper sells it. A bunch of people sell it. You plug it in, the fan pumps it up, and you can do all those gymnastics things on that. And then you can put it away later. So yeah, but a good spring-loaded floor, it's expensive. It's expensive. I've seen a lot of cheap ways to do it with egg cartons and stuff like that. I don't know if I would go that way, sir. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. All right. What do we have next? Keep the questions coming on the right as well. I love real-time questions, and I think it's cool. Next question, please. Mark. I have noticed uniforms are available on websites like Amazon cheaper than the suggested retail price from the vendors we buy at wholesale. What do you suggest so students don't purchase elsewhere? Well, I think number one, I need people to wear my brand, right? So I think what's important is you shift your mindset. You are not a retail store. Let's start there. Okay, stop being a retail store. Stop upselling stuff. Hey, you're Yellow Belt now. Now you need these glow-in-the-dark nunchucks and this red pad, right? Oh, you join my black belt club. You get this cool satin uniform with 50 badges and da-da-da-da. I don't want to do that. I'm an educational institution of life skills and martial arts. I don't want to be a retail store. I don't like built-in sales because they're upsells, and especially people are on a fixed budget. So they're paying us $209 a month, $209 a month. Oh, this month it's $500 because I have to buy these things. Oh, now I have to buy this. And that's where we get the perception in our industry that we nickel and dime. You know who else does that really well? The dance schools. Oh, we're doing a recital. We all got to wear this outfit. You're going to pay $300 for it. You got to get it from us. It's not a good thing. I don't believe it's a good thing. I don't believe it's a good thing, right? So I would stay away from that. Now, nobody can beat Amazon's prices. And I think Amazon's recognizing that as they gobble everything up. Everything they're gobbling up. And you're not the first person that has said that to me, that, hey, I said it the other day, I think to you, right? That you can buy a uniform at Amazon cheaper than you can from some of the vendors we have here. So what does that come down to? One, I want you to wear my brand. So your first month is $209. We're discounting it at $99, and we're going to give you a uniform. And after that first month, it's automatically going to start charging you $209. Subscription-based model, and you can discontinue it anytime you want. So we build the uniform into it. We want them to wear our uniform, our brand. Also because we're out there on the floor, and it creates that sense of teamwork. Do not ever, 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 ever tell your students you have to wear our sparring gear because of our insurance. Talk to Beth Block. She will tell you, I'm sure, that it's a bunch of BS. I'm going to tell you why. I don't know how long ago it was, way back in the day. My dad that was a lawyer. And he came in one day and I think he printed out 2 pictures. One was my kicking boot with our logo silk screened on it. Two was the same kicking boot without the logo he could buy at Amazon or one of those places for like $20 cheaper, right? Cheaper. And he said to me, you're telling me, because we had it in policy, you're telling me that this kicking boot with your silkscreen stencil on it will protect my kid better than the exact same kicking boot with the same brand and everything. The only difference, this one doesn't have the logo. Is that what you're telling me? And that was my aha moment, because I didn't have anything intelligent to offer him. Nothing. I had nothing intelligent to tell this man, because he was right. Right, right, right. He was what? Right. What I said? He was right, right, right. That's it. That's it. So we choose not to do that. And I think what we need to be mindful more and more and more, that Amazon's going to gobble it up, because Amazon's, they're the big boys, and they can go to some vendor and get these uniforms for nothing. So what can we do? Number one, convenience, right? We have the Century Direct set up through our app, right? That's the thing my studio does. So people can at least buy it conveniently. Number two, stop gouging the crap out of your people. I'm not a retail store, so I'm happy to take my wholesale price, call it $10 for a silkscreen uniform. I'll mark it up, but we give it away free in the first month. Hypothetically, though, I'll mark it up $5. Now it's 15. It sells at Amazon for 30. Done day. If I can beat Amazon's price and give them this nice silkscreen uniform with our logo on it, we will win that war. Okay, so those are all my different thoughts on that. But we are not a retail store. James, so you see, here's Jason. Yes, my daughter does dance, and we have the recital outfit. And then if you want to be on the performance team, that's an upgrade too. And more, different strokes, different folks. You run your business any way you want. I'm simply always going to share with you how I do it and why. And if I think the way you do it sucks, who cares what I say? I don't run your business. I don't pay your bills. I don't feed your kids. But I'm going to tell you, to me, it sucks. I think everybody should fly first class. Southwest is one of the great business models in the air, in the airline industry. Whoever's in line first gets on first. That's it. Everybody pays the same amount. One free luggage, I think. It's one bag of free luggage, whatever they do. 2 bags in a carry-on for free? Yeah, I'm sure it's built into the ticket, though. Somehow, somewhere. See, but that's an example of what we do, right? K1's saying if you fly Southwest, you get 2 free luggage and you get a carry-on. Okay, great. And you pay one price. See, it's the same thing here. So James is saying, what do you do if they want to purchase additional uniforms? Number one, conveniently have them in stock. And number two, make sure the price point is better than Amazon. Number three, schedule in at Christmas time, have a sale on uniforms, schedule it back to school sale on uniforms. And again, I'm not a retail store. I'm creating a Disney experience. I want everybody to wear this stuff. So I'm not concerned about marking stuff up 100%, 200%. And I think that's the problem. And I'm sure everybody has experienced that at least once. When someone comes into your business, they go, hey, this uniform you want to sell me at $150? Guess what? I can go direct to Century and they sell it at Amazon for less. That doesn't make sense. You can go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get a Century 2XL cheaper there than you can if you buy retail at Century. So you see where I'm going with that? You want to make sure that you're not outpricing yourself. But I know they're telling you, mark it up 50%, mark it up 100%. So yeah, yes, I agree with you. And I've had that conversation with them. So it's, again, why are you here? Live your best life. Why are you here? Live your best life. That's my mantra. I live and die by that. So living and dying by that, I want to make sure that the experience we're offering is one that creates retention. Nickel and diming people do not create retention. Hard sells does not create retention. Built-in buys where they have no choice, but they have to buy it, and so they don't disappoint their kid, that is not Disney. That is not Disney. Today, tomorrow, or next week. I refuse to do that. And again, that's just me. Could that be one of the reasons why we have such a loyal tribe and 600 people move to virtual without missing a beat and are still paying us full tuition? I would think it's one of the many variables. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. All right. Next question. Last question. We're in good shape. And then, support me. Put your questions in because we're going to have a little time, right? We're going to have a little time. How would you answer this question? My child, 15, was an orange belt at another school 5 years ago. I was wondering if he could move up a little faster, seeing as he has done karate before. Well, we want to be empathetic. Number one, we want to be empathetic. And that means to understand people's the way they think differently than us. So the first thing I would ask her is, may I ask you why you would like to see your child excel quicker? Well, because they've had experience, I believe it'll build their confidence more if they could move at their own pace. Okay, great. I'm going to tell you what I recommend. The only way we can do that, because our curriculum is set in stone. They learn something the first week, they earn a stripe in the second week. So we're teaching this base curriculum. So we don't move faster, we don't move slower. Every 2 weeks, you learn and earn a stripe. Now, if you would like to move quicker, what I would highly recommend is to take private lessons, and that's an additional cost. That's it. See, because we're driving curriculum, and the big thing is if you miss 2 weeks of curriculum, it's up to you to make it up. Take a 15-minute virtual private, do what you got to do. It's not my fault you missed 2 weeks, nor is it my fault that 5 years ago your kid was an orange belt and you believe because they did martial arts for 3 months 5 years ago, they want to move faster. So that's okay too. Facilitate it, but do not let it deter from your values and the way you run your curriculum. That part is very important, right? Otherwise, you're going to half-ass both of them and you won't serve your students that are there in the flow of your rotating curriculum, and you won't serve that kid that believes because he was an orange belt 5 years ago, he should move quicker. So it's somewhat of a esoteric question, because it's easy to say, well, that's a silly question. But if I'm trying to be empathetic, and that's part of living your best life, is I want to be empathetic towards my parents, towards my students, I would ask them why. And if the why was compelling enough for me, then we would do what we could to facilitate that, as long as it doesn't break the ranks of what we're trying to do with our culture and our why. Cool? Yeah. Yep. Alvin, I want to raise my prices when we open for in-person classes. To match your prices is a huge jump for us. How would I approach this? Well, I think number one, Alvin, I would ask yourself, look at your demographics, right? Where are you located? Can anyone tell me? Alvin, put it in there. Where are you located? Where are you located? Letitia, having a computer open. I'm going to show you how I figure this out. Alvin, if Alvin's here, go ahead and put that in. But let's say hypothetically. Alvin, you're here, right? Tell me, where's your school located? And while he does that, I'm going to take a quick commercial break, okay? I want to thank our sponsors once again, because we are Success Never Sleeps. I'm your host, Brannon Beliso. We're here every Friday for you in this Q&A, cutting it up, cultivating creative thinking. I'm a solver, right? I'm a solver. I do not fall in line and follow what's been done for the past 20 years. We're cultivating new content, new ideas, new methods all the time. Our sponsors, My Studio, another disruptor. The first CRM app-based platform that was done through the mobile device. Brilliant. And it continues to grow. They stumbled, they fumbled, and they continue to grow and grow and grow and grow. Kids love life skills. I love my gang. I created the program, but because of Marco Mazzola, Amy Mazzola, Chris Shango, Letitia, Ben Craps, we're creating something beyond what I possibly could. LC Accounting, a better life through financial strength. My sister is a martial artist. She gets us. And if she can manage my crazy life and my finances, she can do yours standing on her head. Cool? All right, Alvin, next to Redondo Beach. Okay, Torrance, California. Torrance, California, Letitia. Let's see how fast you can work with me. What is the average household income in Torrance? And what's the average household income in San Francisco? Go, Letitia. Get that for me. So you see where I'm going with this, Alvin? Sure. And somebody once said that, big consultant out of Manhattan said, okay, A McDonald's hamburger is $1.50 in Manhattan. It's $1.50 in San Francisco. It's $1.50 in the poorest slums of Texas. It's the same price. I said, we are not discussing a $1.50 hamburger, which for some people is how they sustain themselves because of their life and where they are financially, right? Financially. What we're discussing is an extracurricular activity that you are charging premium dollar for. Okay, Torrance, the median household income is $88,000. Okay? $88,000. What is the median household income in San Francisco or Millbrae? Other one's fine. What is it, Letitia? You're right on the border of blue collar and multi-million beachfront homes. Okay, San Francisco's 99,000. That's already a $11,000 difference of disposable income, Alvin, that they could possibly use to have their kids, pay for martial arts. So again, I think it's a combination of two things. One, know your demographic. You don't want to outprice yourself where people simply can't afford you, right? If I'm in the most impoverished neighborhood in Mexico and I want to charge $900 a month for martial arts, I probably won't have any students. So see where I'm going with that? So it's those two factors, Alvin. What is sustainable in your community? And this variable is very important. What do you believe you're worth? That's it. And if you're rich in life skills, you've got great rotating curriculum, you have the Disney experience dialed in, you serve people, right? People above profits. You serve at the highest level, the highest level, then the potential for that is unlimited. So I think those are the better questions. And then once you decide that, then and that's a whole nother process. If I'm going to raise my tuition in September. Let's say I'm raising it $20. Everybody currently with me has 3 months to be grandfathered in. They could buy a year pay in full, which I'm not big on, but it's okay if they want to, paid in full and get grandfathered in on and save on that. Or as of January 1st, we're going to simply move everybody up by $10 or $20, whatever you increase it by. So I think that's really the mindset. But the new people in September, they're all going to pay the new tuition, Alvin. That's a done day. That's a done day. I just don't want to do it to my existing members without them having a 3-month window to think about it, right? To think about it and make that decision to buy a year, pay in full at the old rate, save 10%, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Cool? Yep. So see the difference? And those are variables, but to be honest with you, I know I'm the most expensive Alvin in my community. And I'm not concerned about it. You think Apple gives a tar what Samsung charges for a phone? It doesn't. So the goal is be the Apple in your community. And people cap on Apple products all the time, but you're going to pay more for a MacBook Pro than you are for an Acer computer. Why do people still buy Apple? Why is Apple an A-rated stock? Why is it one of the top 10 stocks in the world, right? If their products suck. And they are one of the most expensive, correct? They are. An iPhone costs a lot of money. A lot of money. I think in my household, I look alone. There's one MacBook Pro. There's 3 MacBook Airs, right? iPhones, iPads. And I buy heavy into Apple stock. So again, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the Acer computer of martial arts, Alvin? Or do you want to be the Apple computer of martial arts? And if I can be the Apple by investing in the right things in my business, such as discovering my brand, knowing my why, creating an optimal environment, working on my team and the programs we offer, that's really where all the money goes. You know how much money Apple puts into development compared to what they put into marketing? How often do we see Apple ads? Think about that. When you're scrolling through your news feed at Facebook, how often do you see an Apple ad pop up? Only around launches. But other than that, when's the last time you were at Facebook and you saw an Apple ad? Go. Right? Jason, we are already the highest in our area and we're increasing our programs at the end of this year. But I think the thing about that, Jason, I'm mindful. I don't want to be making $100 jumps. So every 2 years, we increase our tuition by $20. Every 2 years, $20. Every 2 years, $20. Every 2 years, $20. And we're pretty consistent about that. That's who we are. That's where we're at. Because the other thing with our high rents, when I look at that mat space, Alvin, each spot is like real estate, right? And if I'm getting $30, $30, there's 30 spots on the floor. That's $900 in a 45-minute class. 5 classes a day, that's $4,500 a day. Do that 6 days a week. What do we have now? Times 6, we have $27,000 a week. 27 times 4 weeks. What's 27,000 times 4? 1,080,000. Done. Am I right, Letitia? I'm not even have a calculator. Is that right? Is that right? So there's our $1 million school, sir. Right? And that's really, it depends how much you want to make. And then, of course, take away all your expenses. What is it that you net after taxes and take home? That's the number 2. And I sat there and I'm really working on my number personally for my exit strategy. How much money do I need to make when I retire? Because when you retire, as Sam On says, who's one of my financial advisors, expenses do not expire. Those expenses are going to get higher because as you get older, medical, and different things, right? So I have to make sure that whatever money that number is, that the dividends I'm making in retirement will pay. Will give me the money I need to live well. You see where I'm going with that? So again, there's so many variables in there, Alvin, but don't look at what I charge here to be what you should charge there. I believe those variables, your demographics and charging what you're worth, are the 2 things. But if you're not constantly putting money, Alvin, into your personal development, into your curriculum, into your team, into upgrading your facilities, then I don't know how you can charge premium dollar. Starbucks has a discipline of remodeling their locations every 3 to 5 years, I think. It's crazy. That's crazy. And I think that's powerful. Yeah. Right. Oh, Jason's figuring out his numbers now, huh? We can have 20 spots on the mat and offer classes 5 days a week. How many classes a day? Right? Yeah, don't undervalue yourself. Definitely. Don't undervalue yourself. But again, be realistic and look at that demographic study as well. If your community can't support it, it can't support it. I go to a third world country into the slums and I open up a school and want to charge $900 a month. It'll never happen. Never. You see where I'm going with that? So I think the variable of what your demographic can support is important, is something you should consider in all of your decision making. Yeah, constantly improving upon your location, your team, and your programs. That's a must, Jason. And if you're not doing that, you're not. I'm already pricing out new mats and what I want to do here, as we open up and money starts coming back in. What's the upgrade? Negotiating new lease at a better price. We're looking at all those things right now. All of it, all of it. Cool? All right. Hey, get those last minute questions in there. While we do that, I'm just going to share with you a couple things. I have It's Time Live Change coming up November 13th through 16th. There's only 20 spots. Only 20 spots. 3 of them are sold right now. And Letitia just shared with the hotel. Guess what? The hotel is $79, folks. I think before it was like $200 a day. It's $79 right now. So you want to book the hotel and you want to book yourself and be one of the 20 people. I think more now than ever, the changes that are happening in this world to create that change mindset, to look at all the aspects of your life, personally, physically, emotionally, relationship-wise, business-wise, every avenue, we're going to dig deep and uncover why we're stuck and what it takes to change. So you want to be part of that 4-day experience. A lot of you here have been to that 4-day experience. You know what it offers you. So share it with people. Get booked now. And if for some reason the pandemic doesn't allow us to do it, full refund. Done day. That money will sit in the bank until November. We won't spend it and we will make sure. And we've added some great value to that. Well, how come that's popping up, K1? Beliso, do KC. Oh, wow, you're messing my head up. And so certain things you'll gain from that event. We're going to start a Facebook group a month before the event so we can get priming you and getting your head in the game. We're also going to do a 15-minute discovery call with each of the 20 people with me so we can make that happen. You'll have access to my e-learning library for 3 months. That alone is worth the price of the ticket. Easily. And I've got hundreds of hours of webinars of different things to help you create a better business. Did Letitia post the business plan worksheet? Did you post it, Letitia? Make sure you post it. If not, reach out to Letitia at LC Accounting. Cool. So get signed up for It's Time Live Change. And in 30 minutes, we have our It's Time group mentoring. You guys got to be there. Make sure you're there and get ready to rock and roll. In the It's Time group mentoring, it's, how much is it a month? $129 a month. It's a month-to-month subscription. You're part of this group. We do Zoom webinars twice a month. So we really get its classroom environment. It's instant feedback. It's unlike anything out there now. For that price, everything at that price is recorded videos. We've gone beyond the recorded video. We've gone beyond the handout, and we physically get together in a Zoom face to face, and we go over each experience. So our next one is how to define your values and your vision. That's coming up at 12:30 today via Zoom. All right. And you're part of our Facebook group where we post videos and content, and we're buddying up. So I think it's a unique experience for a reasonable price. If it doesn't work, then you can quit anytime. Cool. You know me, I'm not big on locking you into some kind of thing, and you'll never hear me join my super mega mastermind of the platinum program. I think a good teacher teaches you to fish, and everybody flies first class. Cool. Cool. All right, Tisha will personally get it. Oh, listen to Letitia. I will process those refunds personally if we have to cancel. Thanks, Letitia. Just remind me what money that is sitting in the bank so I don't run out and spend it. All right. Make sure we have it sitting there. Cool. So let's wrap this thing up. Before we announce the winner, again, I want to thank my sponsors, My Studio, Kids Love Life Skills, LC Accounting. Thank you so much for supporting us and supporting my vision. You guys know me. I speak my truth, and I'm not going to pull punches. You know, I don't play the good old boy game. I don't spend any of my time doing that because for me, it's a waste of time, and it's not something I choose to do today, tomorrow, or ever. It's not something I'll choose to do. What you see is what you get. I don't wear the shirt and tie and go like this. Speaker 101 video. Look at my Rolex watch. I got a tattoo. Look at my Rolex watch. Look at me. You know, make sure my teeth are nice and white in the Photoshop airbrushing, right? I got to wear the $6,000 suit. Hey, man, this is it. This is it. But what I always promise you is honesty, powerful content, disruptive content that's going to help you move. Things are changing at a breakneck speed with technology and everything. And if you're not at the forefront of that critical thinking, if you're not a solver, then your business is going to get left behind. And right now we're in such a volatile position. Because of this pandemic, our businesses are closing left and right. And if you're the person standing when this thing is over, you're going to reap the benefits. I truly, truly believe that. But we got to shore up our businesses right now, and start cultivating like farmers so that when we're ready, when we come out of this thing, you're ready to go to harvest. You have fruit that you can sell, you know, not just starting out, fruit that's there that you can sell as we come out of this pandemic. Cool? All right. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll find me at LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. You saw all the social media outlets that K1 just posted. There you go. And these are our different pages, groups. Find us everywhere. We are everywhere. And that's because we're committed to helping people, teams, small businesses, startups, and companies do what? Live your best life. Cool. All right. So who's our winner today? We have a winner and everybody, thank you for posting that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, you love it. I love you too, Danny. I love it. I love our group, and it continues to grow. We recognize that because we're looking for sponsors for It's Time Life Change. We have over 20,000 collective followers between emails, Facebook. I looked at my business page the other day. We're hovering 5,000. Wow, it's crazy. And it's over time. It didn't happen in a day. And all these aren't bought. These are organic. And 99% of them are martial arts schools, martial arts school owners. And that's the cool thing about that. And we're cultivating this, and it's growing all the time. So if you know a small school owner or a small business person who could benefit from our learning, tell them, join a disruptor group. Come watch Success Never Sleeps. Consider coming to It's Time Life Change. Join the mentoring group. If none of that works, buy the e-learning products and just watch these videos on and on and on. There's so much good information out there if you know who you are, what your why is, and what you want your business to look like in 3 years. Because if you do, then you seek the right knowledge to make that happen for you. Cool? All right, who's our winner today? 30-minute phone call with me, Brannon Beliso, in a discovery call. You know, let's make that happen. Who's our winner today? Alvin. Look at that, Alvin. And I look at the last name, Kata Tukan. Am I safe in assuming you're a Filipino, sir? And if you are, Kumusta ka, pare? And we'll have a good phone call together. and it'll be a good time. Good time, good time. Cool. All right, folks, let's wrap this up. I'm going to take a quick break, try to grab a little lunch before we hop into our It's Time group mentoring. Make sure if you're part of it that you are there at 12:30 today Pacific Standard Time. Cool. I'm Brandon Beliso. Thank you to K1 for holding down the graphics and the fort, doing what he does. Until we talk again, folks, please go out there and live your best life. Oh, there's no commercial. Wait. There we go. There it is. There it is, right?